we move from Trump's response to his federal indictment to his lawyer's response. 2 of his lawyers have resigned now just after the indictment. Pretty wild. But Alina Habba, I think, is still working for Trump, and she had a pretty wild response on Fox News to the news that Trump has been indicted by a federal grand jury. Take a look at this.
I cannot confirm the counts. I wouldn't speak to that. I can tell you this. Every single time there is an investigation that comes to fruition against the Biden corrupt family, every single time. Right now we have...
Everyone take a drink. They mentioned Biden.
Ray, who's being held in contempt because he won't share documents. Every single time there is a coordinated dance that is becoming obvious to the American people because they are smart. And what they do is they say, oh, look at this shiny ball, Jesse. Look at this shiny ball. Let's go after Trump. Whatever you hear about the Bidens, don't worry about it. Trump, Trump, Trump. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. And now it's becoming so sick. They are politicized. I'm embarrassed to be a lawyer at this moment. Honestly, I am ashamed. I am ashamed to be a lawyer.
I'm ashamed you're a lawyer, too.
Ashamed that this is the state of our country. And it is so obvious that there's this dual system of justice. This is selective prosecution, selective persecution. It is absolute persecution. It is Russia third world stuff, and it should not be happening.
We had
fact check, false. It should be happening. So, gosh, it's interesting how much she's projecting there, because she's saying the Trump investigations and now indictments, they are distractions from Biden's criminality, which is hilarious, because what are we seeing right now from the House Oversight Committee constantly, and the House GOP especially as a whole, but really all Republicans buying into it? A constant obsession over evidence-free allegations against Biden, constant obsessions over Biden being this corrupt figure, but then every time they have evidence, it magically disappears. The whistleblower vanishes. They can't ever bring it forward. And why are they doing that? To distract from, generally, as I talk about real issues with fake manufacturer controversies, so they don't have to address the fact that with all their flaws, the Democratic Party has actually been getting through accomplishments that benefit the lives of people in this country, while the GOP just does political stunts and has a policy record that is horrendous for the constituents they're supposed to be serving. And so it's distracting from that, as we talk a lot about. It's also distracting from Trump's criminality, right? Oh, Trump's not, it's not a big deal that Trump did the things that he did, because we're coming up with stories about Biden's corruption. So either care about Biden, or kind of it's all a wash and it doesn't really matter when these powerful people are corrupt. And so then she's flipping that around and saying, no, see, Trump, with a massive batch of evidence against him, he actually did nothing. And Biden is the one that they're trying to distract from, which is hilarious. And I would encourage a lot of these right-wingers to go look at the now unsealed indictment themselves. Look at the information that has been gathered through this investigation. It's not a witch hunt. It's not. If you actually think we should have, number one, protection of sensitive material and law and order when it comes to obstruction, and any of these laws in place that outside of Trump they would support being in place, then you should support it being applied to Trump. Just like how when the Biden news broke and it was kind of fuzzy exactly the details about his documents case, almost universally, everyone that I'm aware of on the left said, listen, if he did things wrong, mishandling, if he obstructed anything, investigate, hold him accountable. As we got more information, we realized seems to be some mishandling. Perfectly fine, investigate, make sure accountability is there, but none of the knowingly obstructing, none of the trying to move around documents to keep and show this information to people and all of that. And the response, though, from the beginning was so much more honest from those who would be more supportive of Biden in most situations. Whereas here, it doesn't matter the evidence that comes out. It doesn't matter what Jack Smith has gathered. Still, many within the right will say, no, it's all just a witch hunt. And actually, this is to distract from the Nothing Burger investigation into Biden. Yeah, okay. And I'll show you yet another example of this. Trump, or a Trump-affiliated super PAC, dropped an ad just after this indictment. A big whataboutism.
They've been after Trump from the beginning, but
questions swirl around President Biden's handling of classified documents.
Found in President Biden's garage.
Multiple classified documents.
You and the former president are both now under investigation by the Justice Department.
But they didn't indict Biden. Instead, Biden's DOJ went after Trump. Anything to block him from becoming president again. Stand with President Trump against Biden's corruption.
Okay. That would make sense if you ignored all evidence. That would make sense if you ignored the facts. And that's what many people are doing with this whole situation. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are able to be uploaded to the YouTube channel, plus get the bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.